all is here. Rosenberg, Emily, are you, Councilmember Evans? No. Councilmember Lee? Councilmember Lee, are you here? Your laptop is. Nope. Councilmember Murphy, I see you. Councilmember Rutherford, I see you. Councilmember Sepulveda, I saw you. There you are. I see you. Councilmember Sledge. Councilmember Sledge, are you here?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay. Yes. Great. And Councilmember Stiles. There you go.
Hello.
So we're 6 out of 8 so far. Okay.
Hey, Kathleen Murphy's lost her goddamn mind. What's she doing now?
You're unmuted.
Like, because Taylor was having trouble. He and Will passing some stuff through planning committee and doing the amendments and stuff. You could see they were on there, but Ken's telling them we got some technical difficulties. She's having votes and moving stuff. Modella. She's votes and moving shit on deferring shit without even hearing from the fucking sponsors. This.
Thank you.
Wow. Oh.
All right then. Well, it's good to see everybody.
Okay.
I'd like to.
Good afternoon.
I'd like to make a motion pursuant to Governor Lee's executive order number 16. Regarding electronic meetings as extended by executive order number 34, I make a motion that this committee meeting agenda constitutes essential business of the Metropolitan Council, and that meeting electronically is necessary to protect the health, safety, and welfare of Tennesseans in light of the COVID-19 outbreak. Do I have a second?
Second. Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? All right. All right, we've got resolutions and then confirmations, and then a little bit of discussion of rules changes. Starting with resolution 2020-327, Suara, Welsh, and others encourages private employers to provide paid sick leave to their employees and urging Governor Bill Lee and the Tennessee General Assembly to repeal statutes that prevent the Metro government from requiring private employers to provide paid sick leave to their employees. Is there a sponsor present, Councilmember Suara or anybody else on? Let's see who the sponsors are. Suara, Welsh, Benedict, Bradford, Allen, Porterfield, Parker, Gamble, Toombs, Lee, Taylor, Hauser, Hurt. Anybody, Councilmember Toombs, would you mind standing in for Councilmember Suara?
Sure.
Thank you. All right, is there a motion on the bill?
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Okay, Councilmember Evans, are you here, or Councilmember Lee? All right, 6 in favor, none against. Next up, RS 2020-328, Toombs, Taylor, and others declares the Metro Council's intention not to approve any economic development incentive awards for a period of 1 year, and not until metrics are established regarding the awarding of such incentives. Is there a motion?
Motion. Second.
Second. Is there a second?
Second.
Awesome. Okay. Any discussion on this resolution or questions? Hey, Councilmember Evans. All right. You ready to vote? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed or abstentions? 7 in favor, none against. Next up, I'm sorry. Next up, Resolution 2020-329. Van Rees, Toombs, and others request the U.S. Congress to provide direct rental housing assistance for individuals impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Okay.
Is there any discussion?
Mr. Rosenberg, Nancy's here. I would just like to indicate that, of course, Representative Jim Cooper has already endorsed this action. Sending this letter to our senators will support his endeavors in DC, and I ask for your approval.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any, Councilmember Lee, any
Yes.
no votes or abstentions? I'm going to abstain. All right, 7 in favor, none against, 1 abstention. RS 2020-330 of Bradford honors the life of BNA K9 Roman and her service to our city. Councilmember Bradford, are you here?
I'm here, Councilman.
Okay. Is there a motion on the resolution?
So moved. Second.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
And no votes or abstentions? I'm going to abstain. All right, 7 in favor, none against, 1 abstention. We have a late filed amendment to ordinance B 2020-285 by Stiles, which is an ordinance requiring employees of essential businesses interfacing with the public to wear appropriate face coverings. Councilmember Stiles, could you speak to why the amendment is late and the necessity to move forward with it tonight, please?
Yes, thank you, Chair. So the amendment itself is adding the CDC requirements for what a mask should be composed of, and also it adds a time frame beyond the end of the state of emergency. And it was late. That was my fault. I was doing back and forth, waiting to get some information, and I just eked in just in time.
Gotcha. Anybody have concerns with the fact that this is a late filed amendment? Okay.
Thank you. Help me support our essential workers.
Next is, thank you, amendment to resolution 2020-308, Glover, resolution requesting credit of all property and business taxes paid in advance and coming due for any period that a business or person requiring such is unable to operate or work in their business due to government shutdowns caused by the COVID-19 outbreak. I believe, based on the discussion in budget yesterday, that there was agreement among the budget committee that they wanted to see, or at least among those who spoke up, wanted to see this amendment added on. Was anybody in budget that can speak to this?
Councilmember, this is Councilmember Sledge. Yeah, I would agree with your assessment. I think in the discussion, I think we acknowledged it was non-binding, but I think in particular, if I remember correctly, Councilmember Savara had asked about such an amendment, and Councilmember Glover was amenable to it, just asked that people permit. Gotcha.
Was this related to the rental unit piece of it? Is that what this was about?
I think it may have been, and to be honest, I don't remember. We talked about it for a while, and the gist of it that I got out of it was the Councilmember Glover was going to consider it a friendly amendment. Just wanted to ask that people not oppose the rules extension or the rules being suspended.
Gotcha. Okay. Does anybody have concerns with this being late filed, this amendment? All right. And then another late filed amendment, Councilmember Stiles. An ordinance, this is amendment to BL 2020-255, an ordinance to Title 17 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws for a rezone in Councilmember Styles' district, et cetera. Councilmember?
Yes, thank you, Chair, again. So basically, we're adding 2 acres to the property that will be open common area, uninterrupted. So I wanted that language to be added to the bill.
Okay, and this needs to be passed tonight?
Yes.
For convenience or necessity?
For necessity, they currently, the project is in process right now. They took in the 2.92 acres, and we're actually going to be voting on that tonight. I wanted all of this to be included, so it's one-stop shopping and we don't have to come back again.
Got it. Okay, thank you. Anybody have concern? Okay. Another late file. FY 2020-21 capital improvement budget ordinance, Mendez, an ordinance adopting the 2020 to 2021 through 2025 to 2026 capital improvements budget for Metro Nashville. And this was late filed because the mayor's deadline happened to be after our filing deadline. Does anybody have concerns with this? Okay. Well, that is that. We are on to elections and confirmations for the entire Board of Equalization. Mrs. Sharon Greaves and Mr. Darwin Pankey are new appointments. They are not available tonight, so they're going to be deferred until the first meeting in June. Let's do the reappointments first. Is Miss Kelly here? Is Jacqueline Kelly? All right, we'll come back to her. And move on, Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
There you are.
Yep.
Okay, we have the reappointment of Mr. Bob Notstein for a term expiring April 1st, 2022. Mr. Notstein, would you mind introducing yourself and talking a little bit about your experience on the board?
Yes, I'm a local attorney here in Nashville. I've been in practice about 35 years. Got a strong emphasis in real estate related matters. And I have been on this board. Somebody asked me the other day how long. I've been on it since, I think this is my 3rd mayor. I don't know if that helps, but probably 2014 or 2015. The good thing is I've been on it quite a while. I'm real experienced with how the process works. I understand the procedures. I work well with the staff. And I see a lot of real estate values because what I do real estate closings, I do real estate litigation, I see real estate all over this county. And so I have something to add because of my knowledge base. At the same time, it's a good way to keep up on values, and I enjoy that.
Nice, thank you. Any questions or comments for Mr. Notstein? I just have one. So with this last cycle, did you also, I know that there were a ton of appeals because of the increase in the property values that we saw, that 37%. Was the board, looking back on it, was your appeals rate pretty standard compared to the past, or did you find yourself approving some that you wish you hadn't, or how do you look back on that?
I think this last go around, we had a pretty experienced team, and values had gone up, and we had a lot of what we call no change decisions, where we felt like the tax assessor was right in their appraisal. And so literally, we didn't have as many cases, we didn't have as many appeals, and we didn't have as many changes that you would in some other years.
Got it. Okay.
We held the values pretty strong.
Gotcha. Okay. Anything else? Are we ready to vote? Okay. All in favor of approving Mr. Notstein?
Aye.
Aye.
Great. Councilman Sledge, are you still here? Any opposed?
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Any opposed or abstentions? All right, looks like 8 in favor, none against. Thank you, Mr. Notstein.
Thank you.
Go to the reappointment of Mr. Kamal Saba. Are you here, sir? Mr. Saba, I see you, but you're muted.
Hey, sorry, I was trying to get my mic. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Yeah, this is the reappointment for a term expiring April 1st, 2022. Would you mind introducing yourself and talking a little bit about the board?
Sure. Kamal Saba. I served on the board for the last term. Was definitely the greenest on the board, the youngest there as well. I've been in real estate, selling real estate as a realtor for the last 6.5 years, and a member of the Greater Nashville Realtor Association as well. I think Bob really hit, pretty much everything we've done there. We definitely saw a lot of values of no changes. We worked with the appraisal staff, and they were excellent in helping us determine the right values for the people that made their appeals. I do primarily work in residential real estate, so a lot of my effort and knowledge came when there was appeals to residential properties.
Great, thank you. Any questions, comments for Mr. Saba? Now I'll just stick with mine. Same question as I asked Mr. Notstein. Do you agree with his assessment?
I would, and I would say the board itself was a very experienced and very diverse a board that had a range of experience from every field. And I think we definitely stuck to the values and definitely made the right decisions.
All right, thank you.
If I can, Chair.
Sure.
I just wanted to give a shout out because even though he does not live in my district, he does a lot of business in my district. And I want to thank you for your investment in District 8 as well as in the Madison community in general. And I just wanted to say that publicly, and I appreciate your leadership.
Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you, Council Member. Any other discussion? Ready to vote? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed or abstentions? Great, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Saab.
Thank you.
See you next door. We have the reappointment of Mr. Derek Starks. Mr. Starks, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Wait, yes. This is for term expiring April 1st, 2022. Mr. Starks, would you mind introducing yourself and talking a little bit about your experience on the board?
Yes, I am a local commercial broker. I have been practicing real estate and banking for about 25 years in Nashville and the Southern Kentucky area. And just kind of echoing the previous board members, we, I think, worked very well as a team, and it was successful. I think there was a lot of no changes like Mr. Notstein said, but other than that, it was a pretty smooth process.
Great, thank you. Any questions or comments from Mr. Starks? Ready to vote? All in favor?
Hey, Council Chair,
Oh, sorry.
I had my hand raised for a question.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay. Thank you. I just wanted to ask that, I guess with the last two folks, it's kind of made it sound like this is an easy role and that there haven't been some really high profile properties that have had, where you faced a really difficult decision. And so I guess my question is, based on your experience, when you face these difficult, challenging appeals, do you often try to figure it out amongst your group, or do you look at taking it forward to the state board?
Well, there is a lot of data that is presented with how the values are from the assessor's office, but we're limited on our time. So if it is a matter that is, let's say, that it's going to take longer than 15 or 20 minutes to decide the case, then it's not fair to the appellant for us to deliberate for that short period of time. So most of the cases, we assess if the value is reasonable based on the data. And then if it is not, then we make the appropriate change.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions, comments? Ready to vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Abstentions? All right, 8 in favor, none against. Thank you, Mr. Starks.
Thank you.
Ms. Kelly, have you arrived? Nope. Okay, let's move on to the appointment of Ms. Brenda Gadd as an alternate member for a term expiring April 1st, 2022. Ms. Gadd, would you mind introducing yourself and talking a little bit about your interest in this board?
Yeah. Hello, I'm Brenda Gadd, and unlike some of the other reappointments you've made, I don't practice in the commercial or residential real estate, but I do own a consulting firm where I work mostly on advocacy issues called Rethink Public Strategies. But in a prior life and prior experience, kind of bringing that bringing that here to this potential board appointment. I am a trained lawyer and formerly the public policy director over at the Tennessee Bar Association, where really pushed for us to change, to work on a lot of our real estate code or real property law. So I do have that familiarity through those efforts, with some familiarity with just the overall law on the subject, but knowing that this board actually handle something a bit more critical and a bit more tangible, which is something I'm really excited to bring, perhaps a slightly different background and point of view and way of thinking about it. On my personal, non-professional side, definitely advocate for housing and affordable housing, and knowing that this upcoming year, with everything that you all will be faced, there could be an uptick in work for the Board of Equalization, or there may not be, but we'll see. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to bringing maybe a different way of looking at stuff, but really digging in and spending the right amount of time to make sure we're looking at each appeal appropriately. I really do take it very seriously when someone has any grievance, but also truly understand that when government intersects with people's lives, it is really critical to be taking that seriously. And I think this is a really exciting opportunity to really dive in one area. So looking forward to it.
Great, thank you, Ms. Gadd. Any questions or comments from Ms. Gadd?
Yes, Chair. I would like to make a comment. I do know Ms. Gadd, and she is a phenomenal human being across the board, but her ability to balance, as she said, government and the intersectionality with people and community, I think she will bring very strong elements to the table.
Right. Thank you. Anybody else? Councilmember Evans?
Thank you. Hello, Mrs. Gadd. I just wanted to ask you, I know that coming up, before everybody is seated on the 1st, that there's a training requirement to this role for 4 hours, and literally there's a week and a half, to get it done before June 1st. So will you be able to incorporate that into your schedule?
I really do appreciate that question. I have made accommodations, so yes.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hold on.
All right, Ms. Wilhoit?
Yes, hello. Thank you, council members. I want to let you know, Mrs. Jacqueline Kelly is having difficulty in trying to get online. She said she's been trying to get in. I have her on the line now, speaking with me on my cell phone, and she's having difficulty in getting in.
Thank you. Well, hopefully she'll be able to get in. We can wait until the end of the meeting to take any action. We still have a few more things to go through.
Sure.
So all in favor of Ms. Gadd's appointment?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Thank you very much. All right. On to the appointment of Mr. Charles Hankla for a term expiring April 1st, 2022. Mr. Hankla, are you here? All right. Then that is that for now. We have one more thing to go through. At our March 17th meetings and April 7th meetings, we instituted a series of rules changes, emergency rules changes. And with the fact that we've gotten into a rhythm with this, planning's gotten moved ahead, we've gotten a lot of our logistics figured out, it seems appropriate to roll back a lot of them. I'll just roll through these real quickly. And if anybody has any questions or comments, please just yell out and stop me. So first of all, and several of them will stay in effect. The first reinstitutes Rule 28, which speaks to the public addressing the council, with the exception of the monthly public comment period that hasn't quite been figured out yet at the second meetings of each month. Second is reinstituting the final paragraph of Rule 43, which speaks to excessive deferrals. The next was reinstituting the second paragraph of Rule 6, which requires a quorum for committees to take action. Next up was reinstituting the second paragraph of Rule 7, which requires committee action before the council can pass legislation. The next reinstitutes the second to last paragraph of Rule 13, which requires sponsors of late legislation to appear before the Rules Committee. The next reinstitutes the original language of the second sentence of Rule 19. That requires a recommendation from the Planning Commission on PUDs and SPs before those bills can be introduced in the council. And finally, Rule 27 reinstates the announcement period, which we've been conducting. Anybody have any concerns or want to talk about those before that motion goes to the floor?
Yeah, Chair, can we talk just for a minute about the rule, I think it's Rule 6, the quorum for committees. The only reason I bring it up is because on the smaller committees like this one, we're okay. But for instance, in codes today, where we have 11 members, we only have 4 present. And I'm a little concerned that on the larger committees, we might still have some difficulty hitting quorums, especially if people's work situations are going to start changing again soon. I don't know if I know there are some other chairs on this committee, so I don't know if they face the similar issues.
Yeah, is codes meeting, would your son like to say anything? He seconds you. Is codes meeting earlier than it does when we were meeting in person?
No, actually, we pushed it back an hour from last week. We met at 4:45, so it's just the only thing I'm thinking about is larger committees, just because I think regardless of where time is, it may, unless it's after like 5 or 5:30, it may be hard to do. But I don't know. I would be curious if Councilmember Murphy had that issue, for instance.
Councilmember Murphy?
Yes. So we actually in planning, we had a quorum, and by the end of planning, people who were not on got on. So I haven't had that issue at all since we've gone virtual. Planning's never had, I don't think in this term we've had a quorum issue. But I will say that I personally, because I'm in planning, I have not made it to my other committees because I get stuck in there.
Right. So I mean, I guess my question is, what's making it more difficult for people to get to codes than when we were meeting in person?
I think, well, I will speak just to today. I know that I got a message from at least one member, and I know a couple others were the same boat. They had to be in planning and couldn't be in codes because we've got 2, M+ member committees meeting at the same time. There's enough overlap. Yeah. So if
I want to hold up. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, if we think we can resolve it with the clerk's office to try and get that scheduling done, but I will say I did ask the clerk if we could make sure that codes didn't meet before 4, just because quite frankly, I couldn't make it and the vice chair couldn't either. we're just in that situation.
Okay. Should we maybe just hold off on this one for the meeting until we know that the clerk can make whatever modification is needed?
Yeah, if the rest of the, yeah.
If I could speak,
okay. Ms. Waits.
Hey there. I would ask Councilmember Murphy if she would like for us to move planning up to 3.
I don't see that would be necessary. I mean, we all have jobs and 4 o'clock is early already. So I'm not sure how that would help.
I think it would free up things so that codes and planning aren't at the same time. But if that's not going to work, we're probably just out of luck.
If codes is not scheduled at the same time as planning, I think that would be an easier solution than asking people to be on a meeting at 3.
Oh, well, we can't know for sure when planning will be over, so that would be the difficulty.
Right. Okay. Let's skip this one for tonight because it sounds like with codes needing to meet later and planning not being, with most committees not being available before 4, that we might need to figure out how this can work with planning, because planning was on Mondays when we were meeting in person, right?
Right now, we're scheduling public works on Mondays, essentially to try to remedy this same problem.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you. So let's strike this quorum thing until we can determine a solution. Okay. Anything else on the rules?
Chair?
Yes?
I have a brief question. Someone brought it to my attention in regards to suspending .43 so that we are still giving opportunity for community engagement. Can you hear me? I know
you cut out just at the beginning there. There's a concern about Rule 43 and the fact that you might need to continue deferring bills because you can't have public meetings.
Yes, I know people are moving into a virtual space, but I wanted to put that on the table as something people are considering.
Okay, that's fair. Anybody else want to speak with that? Should we strike that one as well? Okay, let's do it.
I think we should, yeah.
Okay.
Strike.
Okay, move ahead with the other 5. Great, all right, I'll make that motion on the floor. We still have 2 appointments hanging out there. Is Mr. Hankla or Ms. Kelly, did y'all get on?
Councilmember Rosenberg, we got Mr. Hankla may be available now. Are you on the call, Mr. Hinkla? And we got a notification from Ms. Kelly that she was having an issue with her email. I think that there may have been a problem with the entry for this WebEx invitation. Maybe her email was entered incorrectly. I was going to ask Assessor Will Hoyt if we might be able to facilitate the interview on your speakerphone if she's still available to you.
Yes, I have Mrs. Kelly on speakerphone on my phone. Let me see if I can do this without it bouncing back to you guys, which is what it's doing.
Ms. Kelly, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hi, okay. This sounds like this will work, Ms. Wilhoit. Thank you. And thank you, Ms. Waits. Ms. Kelly, would you mind introducing yourself and talking a little bit about your interest in this board?
Could you repeat yourself?
Me?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Kelly, would you mind introducing yourself and talking a bit about why you're interested in serving on this board?
I look forward to serving.
Ms. Wilhoit, would you mind just repeating that to her, please?
you're being asked to introduce yourself, Mrs. Kelly, and tell a little bit about yourself and your experience to be on this board.
What I understand, you're asking me if I've served on the board.
They're wanting you to introduce yourself and give your background regarding your experience to be on the board.
Yes, I did send in my resume, explain my background. This is a reappointment to be on the board, so I was on the board last year. And Jacqueline Kelly.
And you might want to give them your experience in reference to real estate, or what is the background that warrants you to be on the board.
I have 37 years in Nashville alone in commercial real estate broker, own company, Kelly Properties. I'm extensively busy, constantly commercial properties, not only sales, involved in commercial property. I have 10 years of experience in Florida as a commercial broker. I have graduate from the Institute of Banking, graduate of real estate school, Filter Institute. Have several awards for different facets of real estate.
Great. Thank you very much. Does anybody have any questions or comments for Ms. Kelly?
Mr. Chairman.
Councilmember Rutherford.
Yes, I can speak a little bit to Mrs. Kelly. She doesn't live in my district, but she's done some work in my district, and I'm very familiar with her. She's very knowledgeable, very personable in my dealings that I've had with her, and I believe she would be a very good asset to the board, and I support her nomination.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Thank you very much. Mr. Hankla is calling in right now. Mr. Hankla, are you here?
Councilman, my understanding is that on your end, you might need to unmute him. He's calling in from a phone number 491 is the prefix.
491.
Yeah, if you scroll down to the bottom, there's a hyperlink for view all attendees, and then there's a few call-in.
Yeah, everybody's unmuted on the call-in besides Metro Nashville Network, folks.
Thank you.
Thanks. And I don't see a 491 number calling in. I don't think that we're on the same channel. Ms. Wilhoit?
Maybe he's on the
Chairperson, would you like us to give Mr. Hankler a call and do the very same thing that we did with Mrs. Kelly, an echo interview?
That sounds like fun. It was so much fun the first time. Let's do it a second time.
Thank you. We'll send you the number because we've been working with him and we haven't been able to complete that. I'm sending you the phone number right now.
Would that be the same? Okay, would that be the same number that Mrs. Kelly is on? For audio,
I have a cell phone number for him.
Okay.
I see Ms. Kelly now.
Give me a cell number just for convenience.
Yes, ma'am. I emailed it to you.
Okay.
Hi, yes, this is Ken, the host. If you just have him call the WebEx number, he can enter the meeting number.
Yeah, I think we tried that, and I'm wondering if maybe he's on that council meeting call by mistake.
Oh, on the wrong link? Okay.
Yeah, there are some other people on ITS on that chain that might be able to give you more information.
I'll go check that meeting, see if anybody's over there.
This is the equivalent of having somebody run around the courthouse looking for
I'm seeing Miss Kelly now.
Yes. Hi, Miss Kelly.
Yes.
I can't. Mrs. Kelly?
Yes, just a moment. Let me get that right there. Okay. I can't see. I can't read it. Where's my volume?
This is Charlie Hankla.
Hi, Mr. Hankla. This is Vivian Wilhoit, Assessor of Davidson County. We're trying to connect you on this, on the board.
I can't tell if I'm on mute or not.
No, you're not. I can hear you great.
Okay.
Great.
Okay. So, Mr. Hankla, you are with the committee now. They're about to ask you a couple of questions.
Okay.
Mr. Hankla, can you hear me?
Repeat that again.
Can you hear me, Mr. Hankla?
Just barely, but yes.
Okay. Would you mind introducing yourself and talking a little bit about your interest in serving on this board?
Sure. My name is Charlie Hankla. I'm an industrial real estate broker with Cushman & Wakefield. Been doing this for about 35 years and have interfaced with that office from time to time, and always felt like that when I went in to see the folks there, they were most helpful, and the people who were serving as volunteers were very helpful, and I always felt like that was a great way to give back, and if I ever had the opportunity, I would like to at least give it a try. And so that's the reason for my interest, and it's going to be an interesting couple of years, I would think.
I agree. Thank you. Any questions or comments for Mr. Hankla? We got a better connection this time. Okay.
Hey, Chair, this is Erin Evans. I have a question.
Hi, please.
So I'll ask you the same question I asked another person who is being considered. There's a deadline coming up for training on June the 1st, so that's about a week and a half away. Will you have the capacity to complete that training requirement in time?
Yes, should be fine. As soon as I know about it, I'll schedule it. I made my own schedule, so I'm fine.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or comments? All right, ready to vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Or abstentions? Great. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Hankla. And thank you very much, Ms. Wilhoit, for making that happen.
That's what we do at the assessor's office.
That's right. Just facilitating things all day long. Is there any other business that anybody has? Okay, well, with that, we are mercifully adjourned. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Good to see y'all.